So yeah, tell us about your day-to-day, about what you do now.
So right now, I'm a coordinator, and in production.
Okay. Firstly, is what does that mean for people that don't?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
I mean, I know a little bit about it, but only because of you.
I don't.
So a production coordinator, there's basically a production coordinator in every department in animation through the pipeline. So if you like right now, I am in animation, which is an easy department to understand because we are an animation studio. But, you know, we also have lighting, we have effects, we have simulation, we have story, we have art. You know, there's all the different departments. So as a coordinator, I work with, you know, my manager, and we basically we run the department in a sense of we keep track of inventory. So since I'm in animation, you know, it's basically like, okay, once layout marks, you know, they're ready to send these shots off to Anim, we take it in and we work with our animation supervisor, and they cast the shots of okay, we want this animator to take this, this animator to take this. And then we send it to the animators, and then we go through shot briefing where the director tells the animators to okay, this is what I want from the shot. This is what the characters are doing. The character's feeling this right now. And this is the part, you know, this is in the middle of act 2 where we're approaching this part, you know, all that detail. Yeah. And so to be more specific, I am the fix coordinator in animation, which this is actually kind of because most departments oh, I'm, you know, the effects coordinator, and they're just kind of the all around coordinator for the effects department. But with animation, because it's our biggest department and there's a lot of animators and it's just obviously a hefty part of it. It's the, you know, where a lot of the juicy stuff comes out as you're making the movie, starts looking like the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all the acting.
The production,
so, yeah. So obviously it's a lot. And so we have 3 coordinators.
Wow.
And we're split up kind of the front end of animation, when it first comes into our department, the later end, which we call render anim, as it's we call it polishing. It's kind of okay, the director approves it and now we got to clean it up.
Yeah.
Got to make sure the blinks look nice and, you know, the toes don't intersect the floor, just the little stuff. And
yeah, the little stuff. Yeah.
You know, sure toes, that stuff.
Those are important.
Toes are very important. But then I'm the fix coordinator. So all departments, if there's something wrong, we're always finding fixes. Sometimes if it gets to lighting, and lighting's now you know, putting all their stuff into the shot, and they're ooh, hey Anim, here's a fix. We found an intersection.
Right.
The character's tongue goes through their lip right here. Can you fix it? So we get the fix. We either send it back to the original animator, or we'll eventually have a team of fixers, and that's usually newer animators. So when you become an animator, you usually start in the fix department.
Oh, interesting.
So you fix, you know, you're kind of doing touch-ups before they give you meaty stuff. And then we send it off to the other department. So I handle all the fixes that come in and that we send out. And so I communicate a lot with other departments when problems, arise. So
that sounds really interesting. That sounds like something I don't know, we're always, you know, the gratification of fixing problems, you know?
Yeah, or just always polishing to make it perfect. I feel like I'm the fixer for Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, usually our workflow is, Chris is 98% of our little film productions that we do outside of work or any freelance project. And Chris will do a big pass of something, sequencing, whatever. And then I'll go in and I'll be all right, here are my notes. And I'll surround person for Chris, where I'm all right, you missed this.
No, that's
you think we could tweak this a little bit? You think we could do this here? Oh, what if the music did this instead of this? So
is that what you do, Kimmy?
I just tell people, I'm do this better.
Yeah.
Well, that's my question for Kimmy is there ever a time where you pick up on things that you actually have notes on from your own viewing of shots or anything like that?
So I'm on Luca, which is the next, obviously Soul was supposed to come out over the summer, and hopefully it comes out in November. Either way, our next movie after Soul is called Luca. and it was just announced, or else I would be like, I'm on a mystery film that I can't.
I was about to say, like, did we sign the NDA?
Yeah, I mean, verbally, I'll be like, no, they said they wouldn't tell anyone, even though it's on a podcast. So
hey, man, that could get us some good exposure.
Yeah, honestly, we need the PR.
Pixar movie leaked.
Yeah, on random podcast.
Yeah. But so I'm on Luca, and Luca for them, I mean, they had, they started production not in quarantine, but for the most part, the chunky bits of this movie, the hefty stuff is being done in quarantine.
Wow.
So it's, I don't know, it's like on Zoom calls all day,
right?
As we're reviewing stuff. But I feel like in previous, like before this movie, also, I don't know if you can hear that. I have a cuckoo clock.
And I was about to say, do you have a bird? Or?
Yeah, I thought it was a real bird. I was like, get him on, man. Get him on the show.
That is my tiny cuckoo clock.
Do not bring that clock closer.
Apparently 7 p.m. So, but
2 to 10 on my watch.
Ooh.
You're 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, it is like it's like 2 minutes early. I give it some time to coo, because especially when it's noon, it's got to do 12 coos. That's gonna take.
The act of a cuckoo clock is called cooing.
That's smart.
I like that.
Yeah. But so in previous roles, I feel like I have. And nothing, I never have said anything substantial, but it's always like, oh, hey, I think there was a first frame pop. Like that's something, if something breaks in the very first frame, something's not there. And then it reappears. I remember, I think I caught on Onward. So on Onward, I was in the rendering department, and it was early on in the movie, and Barley has, he's basically a D&D type game he plays in the movie, and he has all of his figurines, and one of the figurines on the table wasn't there on just one frame, but then was there the rest, and I was like, it's not there.
They did a Corridor did these guys on YouTube, Corridor Digital, do a thing where they review visual effects. And I didn't know this. I don't think many people do about that one shot in Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah.
Where at the end, the Velociraptor literally disappears for one frame.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's in the
actual movie.
Yeah, it's printed. Yeah.
And if you see it, if you watch it now, you'll catch it. But I've never seen it before. It's pretty amazing.
It's a good movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
In the original, in the first Jurassic Park.
Yeah, in the first Jurassic Park in the theatrical release. I went to that shot straight away and looked at it, and it's there. You can see it. It's right at the end where the T-Rex saves them from at the main center, and the Jurassic Park sign falls down. It's right in that shot where it's the Velociraptor's in the T-Rex's mouth, and for one frame it's just boop gone.
That is the first thing I'm doing after this.
It's pretty hysterical. There's some funny stuff like that, man. Yeah.
But it is funny. I remember early on, I feel the first department I was in, I was a PA for the production pod on Toy Story 4. And I remember being in some of those meetings, and they would just find the tiniest things. And it's now I have a more understanding. I'm like, okay, I get the craft, I get the art behind it. But at first I was like, why the hell are we spending a half hour looking at how his collar rests on his neck and how it should be tweaked 2 degrees?
Oh man.
But then at the end of the day, I'm like, no, these people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I do not. I know nothing. Ignore me.
Yeah. Tricky stuff.
If it was up to you making the movie, it'd just be a bunch of triangles. There's plenty of polygons.
Everything would be intersecting.
Yeah. I'd be
like, sure, it's fine.
It'd be like Reddit CGI.
Pixar would be like, this was so cheap to make.
Yeah.
And now it's garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Minions, right?
No comment. I actually haven't seen the Minions movie, nor do I ever in my life want to see it. I'm sorry. Well, because there's Despicable Me.
That was
and then
pretty
the
good.
Minions
original
spinoff.
There was three Despicable Me's, or 2.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's how DreamWorks has to deal with all that. They're like, we're spending time world building for Dragons 3, and then you get What's their Illumination, which is now their sister company. Is they're just coming through like, we're gonna make another Despicable Me, and it's gonna cost $10,
and it's gonna make us triple the amount.
$10.
$10. It's gonna make us more than you ever made.
In 3 weeks.
Basically.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's right.
You just looked it up?
No. I was just like,
James, look up the let's see what the
budget.
Yeah, the budget of Minions.
Dragons 2 versus Despicable Me 2.
Oh, you want to compare them?
Or wouldn't it be Dragons 3 that came out?
Dragons 3, 129 million.
Budget or
Budget.
revenue? That was the budget.
That was the budget.
That's pretty big, I feel like. 129 million? Wow.
129 million.
Watching it, you can tell it's like pretty.
And what's a typical Pixar film budget?
I don't know.
I actually don't know. It's a lot.
The budget for Minions, 2015, $74 million.
74.
That's roughly
But how much did it make?
almost half. Well, if we dive deeper in here, I also looked up the Finding Dory budget just for reference.
Yeah.
That was 200 million.
Oh, okay.
wow.
But it made 1 billion worldwide.
Wow.
So
Finding Dory, really?
Finding Dory, yep.
Finding Dory
Correct.
was like really like studio history wise made a lot. I forget what made the most, but
What about Planes, dude?
That was not Pixar.
I know. I see.
Planes was not Pixar.
No. Don't try to put that on us.
I think we're all forgetting about The Incredibles. Incredibles 2 is the highest grossing Pixar film of all time.
Damn, son.
Raking in
Yep.
608 million domestically and 1.2 billion worldwide.
Wow.
That's nasty.
That's a lot. I was gonna say it's so weird, like to hear those numbers and be like, wow. I wonder who gets that money.
Not me.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like production's great, but if you want to make money, do not do this job. It doesn't matter if you're at Pixar,
So do
if
not
you're at
live the dream.
DreamWorks. Can we take another pause?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm sitting in the dark.
I was about to say that.
Overall, I think that was all on our minds.
I was like, wow.
You're in Moonlight, which is, it's a look in its own, but
The Moonlight.
if you want to crank on some lights, go ahead.
Lamparas.
I just love people
or
enjoying
a-
the progression of
Yeah.
all of the
the
lighting
day
department.
ending
Yeah.
here.
It's nice. I feel like it's nice.
Yeah, why not?
My ears hurt.
I'll trade with you if you want. I don't mind those.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty rough on me.
Yeah, so go to these. Except we got some, I mean, I don't think they're cheap.
They're also
No.
square. Unless you want
those
mine.
fit me nice.
Our quick fun fact. Minions actually raked in 1.15 billion
Wow.
box offices. So
1.15 billion. Wow.
that's right behind Incredibles 2.
Yeah, that's right behind
which is
Incredibles.
why
These are beautiful.
That's something.
I hate my
Oh, you know what? These suck for audio quality too.
Oh yeah, they're just not good.
I guess I never tried them because I always give these ones to Mike. I gotta get him better headphones, man. He didn't say anything.
Dude, I'm sitting in the corner here. I don't really care.
I mean, these suck. I mean, if you want to take
Those
suck
are going to
ones,
be wonderful. Like,
Aw,
we're gonna be
man.
sitting in a Cadillac.
we're all. He's like, what's happening? We're all trading headphones.
These are the best headphones you could buy.
Those are nice.
Where's
Yeah.
the right side though?
This is your
Wire's always on the left. Fun fact. for
Ooh.
Headphones. Wire's
Noise
always on the
canceling
left.
Why is that?
no, but you don't.
I have
need
no
that.
idea.
No idea, but it's
Except
a
now
fact.
I can't hear myself. Okay, so my next professional question for you. Do you have any fun experiences with the celebrity voices,
Ooh.
actors?
So I didn't meet Tom Hanks, but I got to interact with Tom Hanks on Toy Story 4, and he and Annie Potts had come in, and Annie Potts is the voice of Bo Peep. And they came in to record together one day, and I was the PA for like our pod. And so a lot of that was like fancy people coming. We are reserving the tables. We're getting their lunches ready. Tom Hanks, like this one drink. Fine. Like we have on stock these funny sodas that are like, they're Canadian or something. And we like have them ready for whenever Tom Hanks comes to visit.
Tom Hanks loves his Canadian sodas.
And it's like, especially with Tom Hanks, I'm sure he like one day was like, I love this soda. And then someone was like, Tom Hanks loves this soda.
Always have
Order
that soda in
this.
stock.
Exactly. Like I don't ever
1,000 gallons by Friday.
Oh, we have our
Canada's GDP goes up.
Tom Hanks needs his
Tom Hanks needs his Canadian soda.
I know and I'm probably butchering it, whatever this soda was, or wherever it's from. But so we got the lunches ready. We like got their food ready and we set them all up. And then Tom Hanks walks up and he looks at his food and he kind of looks up and he looks at me. And I'm just so smart. You ready for this? I go, oh, drinks are over here. And he gets up and he goes, and he might have said like, oh, thanks. Or like, because he looked at me and like, you know, either way, we had a brief moment of interaction. And I showed him where the drinks were.
There you go.
Like, yes.
Go, Kimmy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Showed him where's Canadian.
So it came full circle because you almost were working as a waitress, but instead you were serving Tom Hanks.
Exactly. If anything, that job would have been prep. I mean, like, let's be real. A PA job, there was a lot of drinks, coffee, food, so much food. The other thing we did for a while is we were in charge of ordering food for the studio for everyone who was working like after hours overtime.
Oh, wow.
So every night I would like, and not every night, but most nights, especially during crunch, I would be there until like 7:30 because it'd be like, okay, dinner. Come get your dinner. Yeah. What's your name? Okay, you can get your dinner now. That's how I talk to everyone. I'd be like, get your fucking dinner. Okay, bye.
Ring the, you have a dinner bell?
Kimmy's dinner bell.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we go on the speaker system. You take one of the portable phones and you dial the magic number.
Like Walmart.
And it's like, hello, Pixar. Your dinner has been served. Please come to the atrium. And usually each group, like,
atrium.
So depending what type of food they would order, they would like make up a song, like to a tune of a familiar song, but then put like the types of food they would be eating, and then they'd sing it on the overcom, whatever you call it. The PA system. And which I was like, that's intense. So when it was our turn, I thought it'd be funny to have a xylophone like at the beginning of Grease, like ding, 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 and be like, hello. So that's what we did. We did a little xylophone tune. But occasionally we would like try to do like a song, like we learned like Harry Potter, like do 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 do. Yeah, and then I'd be like, hi, dinner now.
Gotta have a little bit of fun with it.
Exactly.
This is Dumbledore speaking. It's time for dinner. Wizards arrive.
Just evolves to like grunts where it's like you do this entire song on the xylophone and you're just like, hang up.
Everyone's like, what was that?
Yeah.
Oh, it must be dinner.
Exactly.
Must be
the
dinner.
more xylophone.
That's the dinner grunt. It's Kimmy's dinner grunt.
Yeah, basically.